Hola. So, my newest addition, finally, after 2 years of not having him, although I look blurry now. I had to get bifocals. No. I did actually because my up close vision is fine. Um, it's just everything past about 4 feet is kind of blurry. There's actually officially my vision's about 20/80. So, and apparently I have a slight stigmatism now, which thank you, mom. I need a new phone holder because this one's not doing so well. Anyway, um, yeah, it's almost the end of October. I feel like in the last 2 days, winter has basically blown in. Where I live, that means it came out of the north. Uh, took a short day at work today because I need to go pick these up and whatnot. We have a couple new additions in the house. We had, I'll probably put a little video of it. We have this beautiful little long hair, looks like a Maine Coon kitten named Bing Bing that I guess somebody had found. Uh, the couple who runs our house, the woman's a pastor, and at the church that she's at, I guess somebody had found it in a ditch or whatever, and they'd been taking care of it, so she adopted it. It's now one of our barn cats, along with this other cat named Pumpkin, who was at the woman's house for a little while, and I immediately fell in love with this beautiful little gray hair Maine Coon kitten. Oh my God, she's so cute. Or he, I don't know what it is yet. Took to me like a fish out of water or fish to water, you know. Side effect of doing healing work and raising your frequency. Animals and young kids flock to you. So, matter of fact, a friend of mine who I recently had a conversation with, and I talked them off the ledge the other day. They seem like they're doing okay. I haven't talked to them today yet, so we'll see. She has several cats, a couple of little dogs, and I stopped over there, I don't know, a week or so ago, and I'd only met her cats one other time, like months ago, and I came in the house, and all of them immediately just came up to me. She's like, "I've never seen anyone come in this house and my pets just walk up to him." I'll take it. I'm definitely adjusting to these glasses. Like, wow. um, I mean, it's wonderful that I can see now, but there's still like, it's one of those things like anybody who wears glasses or contacts, like if you don't wear them for a while and then you put them in, like you feel all these muscles around your eyes start to change, like certain muscles relax that you had no idea were tensed all the time and other ones, so it's, uh, I'm still adjusting. But yeah, so I guess we'll talk about ego death or dark night of the soul. Some call it DNOTS. It sucks. It is mm, it is definitely a struggle going through this period of one's life. And I suspect, like a lot of things, it's not something you do just one time. Um, just like spiritual awakenings, you have multiple times. And person I talked off the ledge is essentially going through this. They're kind of at a transition point, um, in their not only their spirituality, but they're also in recovery. I believe they have 9 months now or something like that, which is a pretty pinnacle time. You get these waves that come about every 3 months or so. 9 months is usually a pretty significant one where you will kind of have a downswing or even almost level off and feel like you're stagnant or not making any progress at all. Um, and it's difficult. You start second guessing everything. You start second guessing what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's usually when people are most vulnerable to slip ups and that kind of stuff. Um, at the same time, she's going through a period of ego death, really. She feels she has a particular calling and she's very drawn to that. But there are a lot of people around her in her current life and in a lot of the old version of herself that are clinging tenaciously. Um, most of those old patterns and relations and stuff were, not to diminish any of them, but were ego food, you know. Um, were based out of, or, okay, in my example, there were a lot of patterns, behavior patterns in my life that I have now come to realize that, most of the reason I was attracted to those individuals or that particular relationship or whatever it was, even jobs, these things were because of a false sense of security or illusion. Um, it was a form of external validation. Just wasn't through substance abuse. It was through essentially codependency. Um, and it's a function of the ego, you know. Um, an unhealthy ego, I should say. Everyone has ego, and it's a necessary function. But and I've talked about it before, especially people who get into sobriety and whatnot, or anyone who's trying to make any significant life changes. Going through a major spiritual awakening is another great example of it, where you come to this point where essentially you're having an identity crisis, and there's an internal struggle, there's an emotional and mental struggle of trying to become who you want to be, who you feel you are in your heart and your soul, and your old way of living and life and patterns and outside pressures from people and society and all of this stuff of who you should be and what everyone else thinks success is. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with input from an outside source. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Take it into consideration by all means. And sometimes people will see things that you don't know or that you don't see because you're too close to the situation. I'm not saying ignore any of that, you know, but at the same time, if you're drawn to a particular job, um, area of study, person, even a relationship, if it gives you true fulfillment and truly makes you happy, I'm not talking instant gratification. I'm not talking it makes you feel important. It makes you feel pretty. It makes you feel somewhat loved. It makes you feel secure and safe. No, I'm talking about true internal joy. Go for it. Don't be afraid. Don't live your life in fear-based or lack-based emotions or thought process anymore. Most of us do. Most of us are raised like that. And I'm guilty of it too. I've spent most of my life in lack mentality, thinking I'm not worthy of whatever because I don't drive the right car, have the right job, or this or that or the other thing. And what I've come to learn is, you know what? I didn't want any of that shit anyway. Sure, great. There is a certain level of convenience that can come with being financially stable and all of these things. And I am financially stable. I'm not completely financially independent. Yes, I still have to work, obviously, but you know, I guess the point is, if you're constantly listening to the opinions of what other people think your life should be, you're only going to live. You're only going to live your life for them. It's not going to be for you. It's not truly what you want. And we all do this to some degree or another. We've all had that moment where we go to our parents or whatever, and we're like, I want to do this, and they're like, now, granted, they might have some great feedback, and they might be very supportive of your hopes and dreams, but they also have a lot of life experience, which is why they might be second guessing it. And it's not something they do out of malice or ill intent, you know, but it plants that seed of oh, well, I want to make my parents proud, or I want to make my partner happy, or I want to, people pleasing. Some cases are more severe than others, obviously. So, yeah, dark night of the soul. It's typically when all of those wounds that you've been repressing, running from, hiding through a myriad of different machinations, I should say, and mechanisms, whether it be substance abuse, gambling, sex, work, binge watching YouTube, binge watching Netflix, whatever it is, escapism. Um, Kind of start to force their way to the surface. And at that point, you have a choice. And the choice is you sit with the stuff, you try to understand it, and you try to heal the root cause. In my experience, it usually comes down to some form of self love, as well as self forgiveness and a few other things. Or you start repeating the same karmic cycles. Go back to what worked before. You put the band aid back on. You go back to escaping through whatever your most popular method of escape is. Could be drugs, could be alcohol, could be serial dating. The trick is to truly start to heal it, not just find a different or less unhealthy way to escape. And granted, sometimes you're going to have that. You might go hardcore and get into religion and faith and meditation and bettering yourself in any way possible. And I'm not saying those are bad things, but anything in excess can and will be abusive. You spend too much time in the 5D, as a lot of people like to call it, and focusing just on, your spirituality, your energy, all this other stuff, you will start to neglect other areas of your life, and vice versa. Balance is rarely 50-50. In my experience, when things in my life balance out close to 50-50, I start looking for something that I missed. But the ego death and darkening of the soul, it's tough. My experience is usually some event for the readers out there, a tower moment has triggered it. And it's a period in your life and an opportunity for you to take your power back. Become who it is you truly feel you are in your heart, and don't be afraid of it. Unapologetically authentic. I'm not saying go out there and be a tactless, rude asshole. We've got too many of those in the world, you know. And I'm not saying don't protect yourself and don't protect your energy. By all means, do that. People are always going to disagree with you. You could be an absolute saint, and you're going to have people who disagree with you and think they know better. I mean, regardless of what your beliefs are, look at the story of Jesus or Buddha. We literally crucified the one, you know. But then we have people in history like Stalin and Mussolini and Hitler. The antithesis of those other individuals sing their praises because they catered to the fears and the egos. Trigger your fear. We're being overrun. That person over there is the enemy. And then they cater to the ego. We're better than them. Let's take it back. Gives you a sense of empowerment. And they shall wear his mark upon their heads. bonus questions for anybody who can tell me where that's from or what it's in reference to. Anyway, to my friend who is going through this particular transition, I know it's tough. Obviously, you can reach out anytime you want. That's what I'm here for. I've been through it, still going through it to some extent. No, I don't have a step-by-step guide because it's different for every single individual. But I can definitely shed some light on the path. So don't be afraid to reach out. Everybody have a blessed night. I'm going to drink some coffee and eat some brownie bites. Oh, and then I'm going to go shave some of this fucking scruff. Getting itchy. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for now.